Hayop na ulan to, parang may personal na galit sa akin, bulong ni Noel sa sarili, habang pilit na sinisilip ang daan sa gitna ng rumaragasang hangin at halos pahalang na buhos ng tubig. Basang-basa na siya, mula sa buhok niyang tumutulo hanggang sa sapatos niyang lumalangway na sa sarili nitong lawa. Kung may sign man akong hinihintay para malaman kung malas talaga ako ngayong araw, baka ito na iyon ay full-blown, signal number 3 level, you're screwed, sign from the universe. Kanina pa siya paikot-ikot dito sa Isla de Clara, isang lugar na first time niyang mapuntahan. Dapat sana, chill na sembrek lang kasama ang pinsan niyang si Miguel na kalilipat lang dito. Pero heto, sinalubong agad siya ng weather na parang galing sa pelikulang may end of the world theme. His phone. Dead. Ang payong niyang nabili sa Divisoria. Sumuko na ata sa unang bugso pa lang ng hangin, naiwan sa kung saang kanto. Paksyat naman, daing niya ulit, nanginginig na sa ginaw. The wind cut through his thin shirt like a knife. Wala man lang masilungan. Lahat ng tindahan sarado na, mga bahay, madidilim na ang bintana. Parang ghost town ang dating. Just when he was about to give up and maybe just see he under non-existent eve, may naaninag siyang malamlam na ilaw sa dulo ng isang makipot na eskinita. It was faint, almost swallowed beside the darkness and the rain, but it was there. Hope, or something like it, flickered in his chest. Sana naman bukas pa yon. Kahit ano, tatanggapin ko, basta masilungan lang. Nilakasan niya ang loob, tinakbo ang eskinita, bawat hakbang ay may kasamang malakas na talsik ng tubig baha na hanggang tuhod na niya. Pagdating niya sa tapat ng ilaw, nakita niya, isang maliit na flower shop. Bulaklakang ligaya, basa niya sa medyo kupas ng singboard na kahoy, may mga nakaukit na sampagita sa gilid. Flower shop. Sa ganitong oras, bukas pa. Hindi na siya nag-aksaya ng panahon. Dahan-dahan niyang itinulak ang pinto na gawa sa salamin na may kahoy na frame. Tumunog ang isang maliit na wind chime sa itaas nito, a surprisingly delicate sound amidst the raging storm. Amoy ng sariwang bulaklak, lupa, at something sweet and calming ang sumalubong sa kanya. Para siyang biglang napunta sa ibang dimensyon, malayo sa ingay at gulo ng ulan sa labas. Sa loob, isang babae ang nakatalikod, abala sa pag-aayos ng isang baukwet ng puting rosas sa ibabaw ng isang lumang mesang kahoy. Nakasuot ito ng simpleng itim na bestida na hanggang tuhod, ang buhok niyang maitim at medyo alon-alon ay nakapusod ng bahagya, ilang hibla ang nakawala at humahaplos sa kanyang batok. She moved with a quiet grace, her hands deft as they handled the delicate blooms. Hindi siya lumingon agad, tila ba sanay na may pumapasok kahit anong oras. Miss, pasensya na po sa abala, simula ni Noel, medyo alanganin ang boses. Nanginginig pa rin siya, at alam niyang mukha siyang basang sisiw. Pwede po bang makisilong muna? Sobrang lakas po kasi talaga ng ulan sa labas, Wala na po akong ibang masilungan. Doon lang huminto sa ginagawa ang babae. Dahan-dahan siyang humarap at pakiramdam ni Noel, parang huminto rin ang paghinga niya ng isang segundo. She wasn't conventionally stunning in a flashy way, pero may kung anong dating sa kanya. Her eyes, dark and deep-set, seemed to hold a universe of unspoken stories. Medyo matangos ang ilong, at ang labi niya, kahit walang kolorete, ay may natural na mapulang kulay, parang laging may gustong sabihin pero pinipigilan. She looked older than him, maybe early to mid-30s, but there was a timeless quality to her face. Her gaze was intense, parang tinitimbang siya. Sige, sabi niya, ang boses niya ay mahinahon, parang agos ng ilog, pero may bahid ng pagod. O baka lungkot? Halika, pumasok ka. Delikado na sa labas. May maliit siyang ngiti, pero hindi ito umabot sa kanyang mga mata. Her eyes were still on him, taking in his drenched state. Salamat po talaga, miss. Ligaya, sagot niya. Simple. Walang dagdag. Noel po, pakilala ni Noel, medyo nahihiya pa rin. He could feel water dripping from his hair onto the shop's clean, wooden floor. Pasensya na po talaga sa istorbo at sa dumi. Okay lang, sabi ni Ligaya, at sa pagkakataong ito, parang may konting amusement sa tono niya. Mukhang kailangan mo ng tuwalya bago ka maging yelo dyan. Walang sabi-sabi, pumasok siya sa isang maliit na kortinang bed sa likod ng counter. Pagbalik niya, may dala na siyang isang malinis, puting tuwalya. Eto, sabi niya, inaabot kay Noel. Punasan mo iyang sarili mo. May mainit akong tsaa kung gusto mo. As Noel reached for the towel, their fingers brushed. Isang mabilis na sandali lang yon, mere grace of skin against skin, pero parang may kung anong kuryenteng gumapang sa braso ni Noel, umakyat hanggang bato. Ano iyon? Static. Napatingin siya kay Ligaya, pero ang ekspresyon nito ay kalmado pa rin, though he thought he saw a flicker, just a teeny flicker of something unreadable in her dark eyes before she looked away. Kilig. Hindi, it felt more like jolt of pure, unexpected intriga. Salamat po, medyo nautal niyang sabi, iniwas ang tingin at sinimulang tuyuin ang buhok at mukha. The towel smelled faintly of sampagita and something else, something clean and subtly sweet. It was a comforting scent. Maupo ka muna doon, turo ni Ligaya sa isang maliit na rattan stool sa gilid, malapit sa isang estante na puno ng maliliit na paso ng succulents. Gagawa lang ako ng tsaa. Tumango si Noel at naupo. Pinagmasdan niya si Ligaya habang nagtitimpla ito ng tsaa sa isang maliit na hot plate sa likod ng counter. Ang bawat galaw niya ay puno ng deliberate grace. Hindi siya nagmamadali, parang may sarili siyang evikilet na sinusunod. The shop itself was small, but it felt full. Puno ng buhay kahit tahimik. Every corner had something interesting, dried flowers hanging from the ceiling, small ceramic figurines peeking from behind pots, old books about botany stacked on a shelf. It felt personal, lived in. Anong klaseng tsaa to, Miss Ligaya? Tanong ni Noel nang iabot sa kanya ang isang tasa ng mainit na inumin. The warmth seeped into his cold hands. Ang bango, Sa labat na may konting honey at kalamansi, sagot niya, umupo sa isa pang stool sa tapat niya, may hawak ding tasa. Para sa sipon at sa mga naligaw sa ulan. This time, a genuine smile touched her lips, and it transformed her face, making her look softer, almost mischievous. Noel chuckled. Sakto po. Mukhang ako yung target market niyan ngayon. He took a sip. The ginger tea was strong, spicy, and sweet all at once. It warmed him from the inside out. Salamat po ulit. You're a lifesaver. Wala iyon, sabi ni Ligaya, ang tingin ay nasa labas, sa ulan na medyo humina na pero malakas pa rin. Minsan, kailangan lang natin ng konting silong. Nagkaroon ng ilang sandaling katahimikan, tanging ang tunog lang ng mahinang pagpatak ng ulan sa bubong at ang paminsan-minsang pagtunog ng wind chimes ang maririnig. Noel found himself studying Ligaya's face. May mga fine lines sa gilid ng kanyang mga mata, pero imbes na magmukha siyang matanda, parang nagdagdag lang iyon sa lalim ng kanyang karakter. Lagi po bang ganito ka-peaceful dito sa shop niyo? Tanong ni Noel, trying to break the comfortable silence. Ligaya turned her gaze back to him. Madalas, mas gusto ko ng tahimik. Ang mga bulaklak hindi naman maingay. Sa bagay, Noel agreed. Pero parang may sarili silang sinasabi, no? Tumingin siya sa paligid, sa iba't ibang kulay at hugis ng mga bulaklak. May mga paborito po ba kayo? Ngumiti si Ligaya, a wistful kind of smile. Lahat sila may kanya-kanyang ganda. Pero meron isa di. Tumayo siya at lumapit sa isang partikular na display sa gilid, malapit sa bintana. Doon, sa isang simpleng paso na gawa sa terrakota, ay may isang halaman na may iisang bulaklak. It was unlike anything Noel had ever seen. The petals were deep, velvety indigo, almost black, with edges that seemed to shimmer faintly in the dim light. It was breathtakingly beautiful, but there was also an air of profound loneliness about it. Ito, sabi ni Ligaya, her voice barely a whisper as she gently touched one of the petals. Hindi to for sale. Napataas ang kilay ni Noel. Wow! Ang ganda niyan, Miss Ligaya. Bakit naman hindi for sale? Siguradong ang daming magkakagusto dyan. Ligaya's gaze remained on the flower. May mga bagay kasi, Noel, na kahit gaano pa kaganda, hindi para ipamigay o ibenta. Para lang alagaan, para titigan para sa isang tao lang, o para sa isang alaala. Her words hung in the air, heavy with unspoken meaning. Noel felt a strange tug in his chest. Hindi lang tungkol sa bulaklak ang sinasabi niya, sigurado siya doon. May mas malalim, may mas personal. He wanted to ask more, to understand the story behind that flower, behind her words, but something in her eyes, fleeting shadow of pain, made him hold back. The rain outside had softened to a gentle drizzle. The earlier fury of the storm was gone. Mukhang tumila na, sabi ni Ligaya, finally looking away from the indigo flower, her expression shifting back to its usual calm composure. Pwede ka nang umalis kung kailangan mo na. Noel looked out. Nga po. He stood up, suddenly feeling a strange reluctance to leave. The warmth of the shop, the tea, Ligaya's quiet presence, it was a stark contrast to the cold, indifferent world outside. Sige po, Miss Ligaya. Maraming salamat po talaga sa lahat. Sa silong, sa tuwalya, sa tsaa. Walang anuman, Noel, she said, giving him another small, enigmatic smile. Mag-iingat ka sa daan. Kinuha niya ang basang bag niya. As he reached the door, he paused and turned back. Ligaya was watching him, her head tilted slightly, an unreadable expression on her face. It wasn't just politeness, it felt like curiosity. The same curiosity that was churning inside him. Yung bukas po ba kayo ulit? The question slipped out before he could stop it. Smooth, no. Real smooth. A teeny smile played on Ligaya's lips. Araw-araw akong nandito. Dito na ako nakatira sa taas. Ah, okay po. He nodded, feeling a bit foolish but also pleased. Sige po. Ingat din po kayo. He pushed the door open, and the cool, damp air of the outside world enveloped him again. The rain had indeed stopped, leaving behind glistening streets and the fresh scent of wet earth. Huminga siya ng malalim. Paghakbang niya palabas, bago siya tuluyang lumiko sa kanto ng eskinita, hindi niya napigilang sumulyap pabalik. Nakatingin pa rin si Ligaya mula sa bintana ng kanyang tindahan, isang anino sa gitna ng mga bulaklak, ang mukha niya ibahagyang natatakpan ng dilim. For a heartbeat, their eyes met across the distance. Then, she gave a very small, almost imperceptible nod before turning away, disappearing into the deeper shadows of her shop. Noel stood there for a moment longer, the echo of her presence, the scent of sampaguita, and that mysterious indigo flower, lingering in his mind. He should be on his way to his cousin's place, but a strange pull, an undeniable intrigue, held him rooted to the spot. Ligaya. Her name, her shop, her eyes, that flower not for sale. A slow smile spread across Noel's face as he finally started walking, the earlier misery of being caught in the storm completely forgotten. Hindi niya alam kung bakit, pero pakiramdam niya, ang gabing iyon, sa kabila ng bagyo, ay simula ng isang bagay na hindi niya palubos maintindihan. Something told him he'd be back to that little flower shop on the corner, sooner rather than later. The intrigue was too strong to ignore. Kinabukasan, kahit medyo hangover pa sa biglaang inuman nila ni Miguel kagabi, na nauwi sa videoke hanggang 2:00 ng madaling araw, ang unang pumasok sa isip ni Noel pagkagising ay hindi ang sakit ng ulo niya, kundi ang amoy ng sampagita at ang mga mata ni Ligaya. Ano ba tong nangyayari sa akin? He thought, rolling over in bed. Parang high school lang, ah. Pero hindi niya mapigilan. There was something about her, about that little flower shop, that pulled him in. Kaya naman, pagkatapos ng late breakfast nila ni Miguel, na puno ng kwentuhan tungkol sa mga adventures nito sa Isla de Clara, na mostly tungkol sa mga babaeng na-meet niya sa beach, nagpaalam si Noel na mag-ikot-ikot lang. Mag-ikot? Saan naman? Baka gusto mo samahan kita, may alam akong spot na. Hindi tol, okay lang ako, putol ni Noel, medyo mabilis. Gusto ko lang mag-isa. Mag-explore, ganoon. Ayaw niyang aminin, kahit sa sarili niya, na may specific destination na siya sa isip. His feet, as if with a mind of their own, led him back to the narrow eskinita. This time, under the bright morning sun, the bulaklakang Ligaya looked less mysterious and more charming. The wooden signboard seemed warmer, the flowers in the window display more vibrant. Pagpasok niya, the bell chimed, and there she was. Ligaya. Nakasuot ng simpleng puting blusa at maong na palda, abala sa pagpupunas ng mga dahon ng isang malaking halaman malapit sa bintana. She looked up when he entered, and for a split second, Noel thought he saw a hint of surprise, and was that pleasure in her eyes before her usual calm expression settled back in. "Noel," she greeted, her voice as soft as he remembered. "Napadaan ka." It wasn't a question, more like a statement. "Ah, Miss Ligaya," medyo awkward na sagot ni Noel, napakamot sa bato. "Napadaan lang nga. Maganda pala dito pag umaga, no?" Smooth, self. Real smooth. Mas maraming liwanag, she simply said, then gestured towards the flowers. "Kagagaling ko lang sa bagsakan kaninang madaling araw." "Mga sariwa yan." "Bagsakan?" "Sa palengke ng mga bulaklak," paliwanag ni Ligaya. "Maaga yun. Doon kinukuha ng karamihan ng mga florista dito sa isla ang mga paninda nila." An idea sparked in Noel's mind. "Talaga? Pwede ba akong sumama minsan?" He cringed inwardly at how eager he sounded. Ligaya paused in her leaf-wiping. Tinitigan niya si Noel, yung tingin niyang parang binabasa ang kaluluwa mo. "Bakit naman?" "Wala lang. Curious lang ako," mabilis na sagot ni Noel. "Parang interesting. Saka, para may magawa naman ako." "Sembreak, eh." Ligaya seemed to consider it for a moment. Then, a small smile. "CJ, kung magigising ka ng 4:00 ng madaling araw. Kaya yan," Noel declared, perhaps a little too enthusiastically. And so began Noel's frequent visits to Bulaklakang Ligaya. Minsan, tutulong siya sa pagdidilig ng mga halaman o sa pag-aayos ng mga bagong dating na bulaklak. Madalas, uupo lang siya sa rattan stool, manonood habang si Ligaya ay gumagawa ng mga arrangement, or sometimes, they would just talk. He learned small things about her. Na paborito niyang kulay ang berde kasi kulay ng buhay. Na mas gusto niya ang kape kaysa't saa, pero yung matapang. Natakot siya sa ipis, kahit anong liit. These little details, mundane as they were, felt like precious gems to Noel, slowly piecing together the puzzle that was Ligaya. One afternoon, she was teaching him how to make a simple hand-tied bouquet. Their hands would occasionally brush as she guided his clumsy fingers, and each time, Noel felt that familiar jolt, that spark. He'd glance at her, but Ligaya would pretend not to notice, her focus intently on the flowers, though he could sometimes see faint blush creep up her neck. "Hindi ka ba nalulungkot dito mag-isa, Miss Ligaya?" he asked one time, habang pinagmamasdan niya itong mag-isa na nag-aayos ng mga libro sa estante. The shop was quiet, the late afternoon sun casting long shadows. She paused, her back to him. "Sanay na ako," she said softly. "At saka, hindi naman ako mag-isa. Kasama ko naman sila." She gestured to the flowers around them. "Pero iba pa rin yung tao, di ba?" Noel pressed gently. "Pamilya, mga kaibigan." Ligaya slowly turned to face him. There was a shadow in her eyes, a fleeting glimpse of deep-seated sadness that made Noel's chest itch. "Wala na akong pamilya dito sa isla. Malayo sila. At ang mga kaibigan bihira." "Ako," Noel blurted out, then mentally kicked himself. "Ano ba yan, ang corny?" Ligaya looked at him, a surprised, almost vulnerable expression on her face. Then, she gave a small, sad smile. "Bata ka pa, Noel. Marami ka pang makikilalang iba." "Hindi naman yun ang punto ko," sabi ni Noel, medyo napipikon sa sarili. "Ang ibig kong sabihin, pwede naman tayong maging magkaibigan. Kung okay lang sa'yo." The silence stretched for a moment. Ligaya's gaze was unreadable. Then, she nodded slowly. "Salamat, Noel." Their conversations deepened after that. Noel found himself opening up to her in ways he rarely did with anyone else, not even Miguel. He talked about his strained relationship with his mother, who was always too busy with her business, about his frustrations with his course na parang hindi naman talaga niya gusto, about his dreams of becoming a writer, his dream he kept hidden from everyone. Ligaya listened. She didn't offer easy advice or platitudes. She just listened, her eyes full of a quiet understanding that made him feel seen. She, in turn, shared bits and pieces of her own life, though always vaguely, always with a certain reserve. She mentioned a childhood spent in a different province, a love for books, a past that seemed to be filled with more shadows than light. She never talked about past relationships, and Noel never dared to ask. May kung anong harang, an invisible wall na nararamdaman niya sa tuwing napupunta doon ang usapan. One humid afternoon, after a particularly tiring trip to the flower market, Noel actually managed to wake up at Apatde, much to Ligaya's amusement and his own surprise. They were sitting under the shade of a large sampaguita tree in a quiet corner of a nearby park. Nagpapahinga sila, may bitbit na tig-isang bote ng malamig na tubig. The air was thick with the sweet, intoxicating scent of sampaguita blossoms. Alam mo, Noel, Ligaya began, her voice soft, almost blending with the rustling leaves. Minsan, naiisip ko, para tayong mga bulaklak. May kanya-kanyang panahon ng pamumukadkad, may kanya-kanyang tinatagong bango at may kanya-kanyang tinik. Noel looked at her. The dappled sunlight filtering through the leaves played on her face, making her look ethereal. Anong tinik mo, Ligaya? He asked, his voice barely above a whisper. He dropped that miss, and it felt right. Ligaya didn't answer immediately. She picked a fallen sampaguita blossom from the grass, twirling it between her fingers. Marami, she finally said, her gaze distant. Masyadong marami para bilangin. Lahat naman tayo may tinik, siguro, Noel said, trying to sound reassuring. Part yun ng pagiging tao. She looked at him then, her eyes searching his. Pero paano kung yung mga tinik na yon nakakasakit na ng iba? Nakakasakit na ng mga taong mahalaga sa'yo. Noel felt spang in his chest. He didn't know Gale, but her words felt personal, directed at him. Hindi ko alam, he admitted honestly. Siguro susubukan kong mag-ingat. O baka tatanggalin ko yung mga tinik kung kaya. Ligaya let out a soft, melancholic laugh. Sana ganun lang kadali, Noel. Sana. They sat in silence for a while, the unspoken tension hanging heavy between them. Noel wanted to reach out, to take her hand, to tell her that whatever her thorns were, he didn't care. But he was scared. Scared of what she might say, scared of what he was starting to feel. Ligaya, he began, his voice a little shaky. May nararamdaman ako para sa'yo. The words were out before he could stop them, raw and honest. Ligaya went very still. Her eyes widened slightly, and he saw her hand, the one holding the sampaguita, tremble. She didn't look at him. She just stared straight ahead, at the ancient trunk of the sampaguita tree. Noel D. She whispered, her voice barely audible. Hindi pwede. Bakit? Noel's heart pounded in his chest. Dahil ba sa edad? Ligaya, hindi mahalaga sa akin yun. Hindi lang yun, she cut him off, her voice tight with an emotion he couldn't quite decipher. Guilt? Fear? Maraming dahilan. Mga dahilan na hindi mo maiintindihan. Then explain it to me. Noel pleaded, frustration creeping into his tone. Kausapin mo ako, Ligaya. Please. She finally turned to him, and his breath caught in his throat. Her eyes were glistening with unshed tears. There was so much pain in them, so much conflict. Ayokong masaktan ka, Noel, she said, her voice breaking. At ayokong masaktan ang sarili ko. Ulit. Before Noel could say anything, before he could process the raw vulnerability in her voice, Ligaya leaned in. Her hand, still trembling, came up to cup his cheek. Her eyes searched his, as if looking for an answer, or perhaps, an escape. And then, she kissed him. It wasn't a gentle, hesitant kiss. It was desperate, hungry, full of all the unspoken words, the pent-up emotions, the fear and the longing that had been simmering between them for weeks. The scent of sampaguita enveloped them, mingling with the taste of her lips, a taste that was both sweet and sorrowful. Noel responded with equal fervor, his arms instinctively going around her waist, pulling her closer. The world around them faded away, the park, the trees, the distant sounds of the city. There was only Ligaya, her lips on his, her body pressed against him, her quiet sobs muffled against his mouth. It was a kiss that tasted of forbidden fruit, of stolen moments, of a joy so intense it bordered on pain. Teeny white sampaguita blossoms, dislodged here, sudden breeze, rained down around them, like fragile, fragrant teardrops. When they finally broke apart, gasping for air, both of them were shaken. Ligaya's face was flushed, her eyes wide and luminous with tears that now freely flowed. She quickly wiped them away, a look of panic dawning on her face. Hindi dapat nangyari to, she stammered, pulling away from him, her body trembling. Mali to, Noel. Mali. Ligaya, Noel reached for her, but she flinched, stepping back as if burned. Uwi na ako, she said, her voice barely a whisper, already turning to leave. She didn't look back. Noel watched her go, his heart a chaotic mess of elation, confusion, and a dawning sense of dread. The taste of her kiss, the scent of sampaguita, lingered on his lips, a bittersweet reminder of what had just transpired. He knew, with a certainty that both thrilled and terrified him, that something had irrevocably changed between them. That kiss under the rain of white sampaguita blossoms wasn't just a kiss. It was a beginning. But as he stood there alone, the fallen petals at his feet, a cold knot of guilt began to form in his stomach. Ligaya's fear, her whispered words of mali too, they echoed in his mind. What secrets was she hiding behind those sad, beautiful eyes? And what would happen now that they had crossed a line that, perhaps, should never have been crossed? The sweet scent of sampaguita suddenly felt cloying. The morning after the kiss under the sampaguita tree, Noel woke up in a bed that wasn't his cousin's. It was Ligaya's. He blinked, his mind slowly piecing together the hazy, emotionally charged events of the previous night. After she had run from the park, Noel, driven by a mixture of desperation and a refusal to let things end so chaotically, had followed her back to the flower shop. The inbulaklakang Ligaya sign was unlit, the door locked. He had knocked, softly at first, then a little more urgently. Ligaya, please. Kausapin mo ako. For a long time, there was no answer. He was about to give up, a cold dread settling in his stomach, when the door cracked open a sliver. Ligaya stood there, her eyes red-rimmed, her hair disheveled. She looked broken. Without a word, she let him in. The shop was dark, only the faint moonlight filtering through the glass panes offering any illumination. The air was thick with the scent of wilting flowers and unspoken turmoil. What followed was a blur of raw emotion. Tears, accusations, mostly from her, directed at herself, desperate pleas, from him, for her to just talk, and then touches. Hesitant at first, then less so, she hand on an arm, a thumb wiping away a tear, hug that lingered too long. One thing led to another, fueled the weeks of suppressed attraction, the intoxicating mix of longing and despair. They ended up in her small apartment above the shop. It was as simple and as full of quiet character as she was, shelves overflowing with books, small potted plants on the windowsill, a worn but comfortable-looking armchair draped with a knitted shawl. And then, her bed. Now, in the pale morning light seeping through the thin curtains, Noel lay there, watching Ligaya sleep. Her face, in repose, looked younger, more peaceful than had ever seen it. Her dark hair fanned out on the pillow beside him. He felt a surge of tenderness so profound it almost hurt. He reached out, gently tucking a stray strand of hair behind her ear. Her skin was soft, warm. He shouldn't be here. A voice in his head, the same one that had been screaming warnings at him for weeks, was now practically apoplectic. This is wrong. She's older. You barely know her. May tinatago siya, Noel, nararamdaman mo iyon. Pero yung puso niya, yung bawat hibla ng katawan niya, sumisigaw ng ibang bagay. Gusto ko siya. Gusto ko, too. Carefully, so as not to wake her, Noel slipped out of bed. He found his clothes scattered on the floor, a testament to the urgency and abandon of the previous night. As he dressed, he couldn't help but glance back at Ligaya. A wave of possessiveness, sharp and unexpected, washed over him. Akin siya. Then, immediately followed a pang of guilt. Hindi. Hindi siya pwedeng maging iyon ng ganito. He found his way to the teeny kitchen, a space barely big enough for one person. He opened the small refrigerator, hoping to find something to cook for breakfast. Eggs, some leftover rice, a slightly wilted tomato. Pwede na to. He started to cook, the simple, domestic act feeling strangely intimate in this new, undefined space they now shared. The smell of garlic frying soon filled the small apartment. Ligaya stared just as he was plating the sinangag and scrambled eggs. She sat up, clutching the sheet to her chest, her eyes slowly focusing on him. For a moment, there was confusion, then recognition, followed by a wave of something that looked like regret. Noel, her voice was husky with sleep. Good morning, he said, trying for a cheerful tone, though his stomach was churning with a mix of nerves and anticipation. Nagluto ako ng breakfast. She didn't say anything, just watched him as he brought a small tray with 2 plates and 2 cups of instant coffee, the only kind he could find, to the side of the bed. He sat on the edge, careful not to get too close, too soon. They ate in silence for a while. The air was thick with unspoken words, with the weight of what had happened. Noel kept stealing glances at her. She looked beautiful, even with her sleep-mussed hair and without trace of makeup, but there was a fragility about her this morning, vulnerability that hadn't been there before, or perhaps, one he hadn't allowed himself to see. Ligaya, he finally said, putting his fork down. About last night, see. She flinched, her eyes clouding over. Wag na nating pag-usapan, Noel. Please. Pero kailangan, he insisted gently. Kailangan nating malaman kung ano to, kung ano tayo. Ligaya looked down at her plate, pushing her food around with her fork. Walang tayo, Noel, she said, her voice barely a whisper. Isang pagkakamali lang yung kagabi. A moment of weakness. Hindi na dapat maulit. Pagkakamali. Noel felt a stab of pain. Ganon lang ba yun para sa'yo? He tried to keep the hurt out of his voice, but failed. Kasi sa akin, Ligaya, hindi. It felt real. She finally looked up at him, her eyes filled with desperate plea. Noel, hindi mo naiintindihan. This is dangerous. Para sa ting dalawa. Dangerous? Paanong dangerous? Noel's frustration was starting to build. Dahil mas matanda ka sa akin. Is that it? Paulit-ulit na lang ba yan, Ligaya? Ilang beses ko bang sasabihin sa'yo na wala akong pakialam doon? Hindi lang yun. Her voice rose, laced with an emotion he couldn't quite place. Fear. Anguish. May mga bagay ka na hindi alam. Mga bagay na masisira lang ang lahat kapag nalaman mo. Then tell me, he exclaimed, his patience wearing thin. Ano ba yung mga sikretong iyan na mas mahalaga pa kaysa sa nararamdaman natin? Ligaya stood up abruptly, wrapping the sheet tighter around herself. She walked towards the window, her back to him. Hindi ko kaya, Noel. Hindi ko kayang sabihin. So, ano? Ganito na lang. Noel stood up too, his fists clenching. Magpapanggap tayong walang nangyari. Babalik tayo sa dati.